And now, BillyCBoxing.com presents Thumbs Up, Thumbs Down with Billy C. Here he is, Billy C.
And we're coming at you from the Billy C studio in Lake George, New York. I'm Bill Calogero, and it's time for our daily Thumbs Up, Thumbs Down for, what's today? Thursday, April 26th already. Can you believe that this month is gone already? Jeez, April 26th, 2012. Here we go. We got a couple of them for you. Thumbs up. Thumbs up goes to Showtime for continuing to consistently bring us competitive boxing as they announced the May 11th triple header. Udell Johnson against Freddie Hernandez, Badou Jack against Alexander Brand, and Rances Barthélemy against Alan Martinez. You know, in my opinion, Showtime has done nothing but keep us on the edge of our seat with these matchups, and they don't just throw one at us. They usually throw two or three like they do here with this triple header. They have, in my opinion, have surpassed all the other networks when it comes to consistently giving us quality matchups, and that's what it's all about, in my opinion. So thumbs up for Showtime. Hey, listen, I think they're the best out of the two major, when you're talking about Showtime and HBO. I think at this stage of the game, Showtime leads the way. Thumbs up for Showtime. Thumbs up for Holly Holm against Sophie Mathis 2, which is taking place June 15th. Austin Colleen said it best. He said, "This is not an outstanding women's main event. This is an outstanding main event." I'm looking forward to this fight. I should be calling the action again, as far as I know I am. And I am looking forward to seeing what kind of adjustments Team Holm can make. I know one thing that they should consider is putting the normal size ring in there. The last time it seemed to be a little small ring. And I know Sophie Mathis has got a lot to prove. At this point, yes, she's the champion. Yes, she's regarded as the number one pound-for-pound female fighter in the world. But should she beat Holly Holm again, I think it would be no doubt. So thumbs up to Fresquez Promotions, Holly Holm, and Anne-Sophie Mathis for making Holly Holm and Sophie Mathis 2 a reality. So thumbs up for them. And finally, thumbs up to Miguel Cotto for being a type of world champion this sport needs more of. You know, Miguel Cotto, the more you look at Miguel Cotto and you look at the whole body of work, putting his talent aside, putting aside what he's accomplished in the ring and multiple weight class championships and all of that stuff, the guy is a class act. Through that whole Antonio Margarito loaded gloves thing, he never once, and he certainly had the right to, but he never once let his mouth get him in trouble like me and other people like Mayweather do. You know, so, I mean, the bottom line is thumbs up to Miguel Cotto. He's a class act, and I really wish a lot more fighters in this business would follow his suit. So thumbs up to Miguel Cotto. Now we got some thumbs down. And my first thumbs down goes to UTEP, the University of Texas El Paso, for blocking, currently, at least for now, blocking the Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and Andy Lee fight. Why? Because they feel it's going to be an added risk to security. Come on, man. All they're doing is they're stereotyping boxing fans as being unruly and that they can't get a security strong enough to keep them in place. You know, I find that appalling. I said it earlier on the Talking Boxing with Billy C radio show today that, you know, it's a joke. When you look at other sports in other countries, I physically have witnessed a soccer game in Europe where a goalie gave up back-to-back goals and the fans broke on and ran onto the field and beat the crap out of the guy. You know, where's the security there? You know, we've seen many other sporting events where, issues happen despite having a large amount of security personnel there. You know, why are we being stereotyped as boxing fans for being unruly? I give a thumbs down for UTEP. I think it's very unprofessional, and I think somebody is putting their own personal feelings towards the sport of boxing into this mix when they should be looking at it in a totally different way. Thumbs down to UTEP. I hope you change your mind, man, because it's going to be hard to outlive this one. Thumbs down to Kelly Pavlik for not fighting a legitimate opponent in his next fight. You know, I don't have any problem with a fighter coming back from a somewhat layoff and fighting a marginal opponent, an easy opponent, whatever you want to call it. But Kelly Pavlik, which he did in Aaron Jacko in his comeback fight with a new trainer and everything else, but now he's fighting Scott Sigmund. Now, no disrespect to Scott Sigmund because he could beat my ass, but listen, this guy has fought 3 quality fighters in his whole 25-fight career. 3. Go look him up, punch him up. Scott Sigmund, punch him up. 3 legitimate opponents, and guess what? He lost to all 3. This is not going to be a tough fight for Kelly Pavlik, and it certainly doesn't give us a gauge for Kelly Pavlik to see where he is. Thumbs down for Kelly, man. I'm a big fan of Kelly Pavlik. Thumbs down for Kelly in this one. Thumbs down for Team Margarito. They announced a May 26th fight against Abel Perry. Listen, I don't have a problem with him fighting this because, again, just like I just said previously with Kelly Pavlik, this is a guy that's kind of in a comeback fight, so to speak, and I'm going to give him the pass. But that's not why he's getting a thumbs down today. The reason why he's getting a thumbs down is because they announced that fight was going to take place at between 154 and 160 pounds. Now, that makes that a middleweight fight. The middleweight limit goes from 154.1 up to 160 pounds is the limit. That's middleweight, okay? So if you're going to fight a fight somewhere between 154 and 160, it's a middleweight fight. But yet they announced it when they announced the fight the other day. They announced it as a junior middleweight fight. How could it be a junior middleweight fight? With all these weight classes and all these fighters, how can we still be doing catch weights? It's ridiculous. I give a thumbs down to Team Margarito. I give a thumbs down to the ABC Boxing Commission and Tim Lukenbaugh, who's the commander-in-chief over there, who told me personally that the main reason for the existence of the ABC Boxing Commission is to protect the fighters. But yet they don't think it's smart. They thought it was a good idea of mine to make a young fighter that's getting a federal ID to get a head scan. However, they don't think it's possible because they think that the expense of that would get promoters to not put on as many shows. I say this: do you really want to protect the fighters, ABC? Because if you did, you'd make this happen. We would have fighters that are required to get a CAT scan of their brain prior to issuing a federal ID, and then this way a doctor can do a comparison when and if a fighter like Jermaine Taylor gets knocked out a couple of times, sustains a serious head injury. We have a means of protecting them. You want to protect the fighter? Forget about the $400 price tag on the scan. Everybody has to invest money in their future and in their career. If you're going to be an accountant, you go to college. If you're going to be a carpenter and you go to a trade school, you be an apprentice, you're investing in yourself. Why can't fighters invest in themselves? I'm not saying make the promoter pay for it. Let the fighter pay for it. But you know what? Protect the fighter, damn it. Make them get a head scan prior to becoming a pro, and then doctors will have a better educated guess, so to speak. And I'm not saying they guess, but they'll have a much better way of determining if there's any kind of brain damage after a knockout when they have a perfectly good scan to compare it with one after the knockout. Do yourselves a favor. Make young fighters get a CAT scan of their brain prior to issuing a federal ID. And finally, my last thumbs down goes to ESPN. And ESPN, it's really ESPN.com. Why do I give ESPN.com a thumbs down? Because you need a damn GPS system just to locate where their boxing section is on there. Come on, man. Boxing's a legitimate sport. It should be on the front page with tennis and baseball and football and hockey and basketball and boxing. Why does boxing have to be found someplace buried in other sports with polo and shot put and all this other crap? Thumbs down to ESPN.com. Hey, that wraps up our thumbs up, thumbs down for today. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. Ciao, baby.